Hey everybody, and welcome back to another max velocity weather forecast. And in today's forecast, we'll be talking about the snow that is coming to some areas in the southern plains, and as well as what's happening today in terms of the snow. I know a lot of you may have been surprised that you're seeing snow this morning, and there actually is some ongoing across the Ohio Valley. So I'll give you a breakdown of what to expect, at least for the next 24 hours, and if this will continue beyond today. Let's first begin with what's going on in the Ohio Valley. So first off, we've had some moderate to even sometimes heavy snowfall across areas like Indiana as well as Ohio. All this blue is representing that snow that is currently ongoing. That will continue to move off to the northeast pretty quickly as well. Again, not a whole lot of snow is coming out of this. Most of the accumulation will be between about a coating upwards of maybe 4 to 5 inches in isolated areas. Basically, if you're lucky, you may see 4 to 5 inches of snow. But other than that, by about later this afternoon, all of the snow for the most part is moving out. The only thing that may remain would be lake effect snow. So we may have a little bit of lake effect snow back over in the Great Lakes near Lake Erie, for example, potentially back over in western Michigan as well. We may start to see some lake effect snow over the next 24 to 48 hours, but beyond that, not a whole lot of snow is expected. And again, lake effect snow would be the only thing beyond now. Snowfall accumulation in this region in Indiana, maybe 1 inch to 3 inches. Again, a couple areas getting lucky, maybe closer to 4 to 5. We get some heavy snow, maybe a coating or so across Ohio, up to 1 inch in the western portions of Ohio is not out of the question over the next few hours. But on the other hand, we're talking about the big picture. What's going to be happening over the next several days? Well, we have a couple events to watch. One will actually develop going into Sunday back up in Maine. So there might be a little bit of some snow up that direction, potentially even a little maybe mini winter storm, if you will, back up there for just Sunday. Eventually going to Monday, they'll have a trough built into the southern plains. This could bring a winter system. I won't call it a winter storm, but it very well could at least bring some wintry weather to areas in the southern plains back in Oklahoma and the panhandle of Texas, even possibly Kansas and Arkansas. By Tuesday and Wednesday, that quickly moves off to the east, and eventually by next weekend, it will be fairly dry across the United States. No big winter weather makers or even rain or severe weather makers are really in the forecast beyond about Tuesday or Wednesday, so definitely looks like it'll be a nice calm end to next week. But beyond that, we have to get through what's going to be coming up first, which is going to be back up in Maine. Again, that potential for maybe some snow heading into maybe Sunday afternoon and evening, potentially going to the overnight hours. Some flurries may remain going into Monday morning, but overall, the accumulation shouldn't be anything too crazy. Maybe a coating to 3 inches across areas in Maine and the higher elevations of New Hampshire and Vermont. But other than that, maybe an isolated spot closer to half a foot in extreme northern Maine. But again, this is not a big event for this time of the year. And the big story is the potential for some snow down in the southern plains. That will begin as early as Monday morning back over in the Texas Panhandle near Dalhart and Amarillo. Eventually going closer to Monday afternoon, the snow and even some of the heavier bands will enter western Oklahoma, so near Elk City, maybe as far south as Lawton. I think that area may have some trouble getting to snow because of how warm it might be at the surface. But regardless, you might see a few snowflakes out there. Accumulation is going to be pretty minimal down in southern Oklahoma. By Monday afternoon into the evening, we'll start to see more snow over in Oklahoma City and Stillwater and back through areas like even McAllister. Could even see some snow during the early evening hours on Monday. And then eventually this will all move out by Monday late evening-ish. So we might still see a few flurries remaining, but no accumulation really expected after that. And by the way, Oklahoma City just saw their first accumulation of snow yesterday evening. Almost a half an inch of snow fell actually yesterday at the Norman National Weather Service site. So just a little heads up there. You already saw your first snow of the season. But again, more of that is most likely to come. At this given time, the NAM model is giving us an estimate that we could see somewhere between about 1 to 3 inches, maybe some areas higher back over in western Oklahoma. And it does estimate that we could even get up to a half a foot of snow and maybe an isolated spot or two, maybe slightly overestimated, but we'll give you more details on that either in tomorrow's forecast or on Monday. But again, decent amount of snow coming out of that. Temperatures going into Tuesday morning following this event will be very cold. We're talking about 20s across a large area of Oklahoma. Some areas back over in southwest Kansas could get down into the teens, maybe even an isolated area getting into the single digits. Wind chills will even be worse. Teens and potentially single digits again back over in western Oklahoma, possibly sub-zero back over in southwest Kansas. So again, very cold weather for this time of the year. And I know we're getting closer to late fall, but again, this is not normal for this time of the year. We're well below average for sure at this point. And that will continue. Again, we're going to probably see a lot of cold weather over the next several days. Several cold blasts are still to come. This one is not the only one, so be mindful of that. Again, we'll have a lot more cold weather from where this all came from for the next 7 to potentially 14 days. Again, we're going to be in this sort of pattern where we're just going to have straight up cold weather here across the United States for the most part. Temperatures going into tomorrow morning, so when you wake up, if you have any plans tomorrow morning, temperatures will be dropping down really below freezing across almost the entire United States. At least the majority of the United States will be below freezing. Sub-zero temperatures back over in North Dakota. And by this upcoming Friday, temperatures will dip down even further than what they will be over the next several days. Back over in northern portions of the United States, well below zero in some areas. And then even as far south as Florida, some areas could get below freezing. Make sure to like the button down below, subscribe if you've not already. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting.